we miss the point because we think the world is made of matter. Matter is simply a concept. The world is made of language. And since the hallucinations communicate in language, they are as real as anything else. They are helping make reality. It's crazy to think that the universe is made of quarks and mu mesons and neutrinos and stuff like that. I mean, who here has ever seen one or has even the most specious grasp of how you would go about looking for such a thing? But we get exposed to those words. The world is really made of language, of interlocking concepts. Well, so then that means that the hallucinations are real. That in that sense where Mia Farrow says in Rosemary's Baby, "My God, this is actually happening," that's what needs to happen inside the psilocybin trip. We have this category called hallucination or intoxication or trance, and then we say, oh, it's only mental, and therefore it's not real. Well, I've got news for you. It's all mental, and therefore it is real. And the big news is that while we've been waiting for aliens to come in ships from the stars, we have totally overlooked the alien nature of reality around us. And that by pushing into these mental dimensions, we discover a bewildering fauna of angels, demons, helping spirits, ancestor spirits. I only speak from my own experience. So, for instance, I'm unable to pass judgment on something like voodoo or tantric invocation or something like that. But I using reason, was able to confirm the existence of things that no reasonable person believes in. And, this is impressive. And it's repeatable. That's the thing I want to stress. This is not some faith or something where you have to, I don't know. It's just that it's a technology. It's a technology of ethnopharmacology.
Obviously the experience is repeatable, but what that experience means and whether it indicates some, for lack of a better phrase, objective reality separate and apart from your mind is not necessarily proven by having the experience itself.
Yes, but see, it's difficult to prove that there's any objective reality apart from your mind anyway. Yeah, I mean that, but it not only rests on Berkeley, which is an earlier version of it, but it also rests now on quantum physics' need to include the observer into the equation. Somehow there is a something which the vectors of which are collapsed into the experience of the here and now by the observational act. And then the role of language in this, I mean, it's not easy to sort this stuff out. If you want to read an interesting book, read Despaignet's book, The Philosophical Foundations of Quantum Mechanics.